We've got breaking news about security preparations getting underway for a possible Trump indictment in New York in the coming days. I want to bring in NBC's Laura Jarrett and NBC's Vaughn Hilliard, who is outside of Mar-a-Lago. What do we know about these security preparations, Laura?
Chris, for quite some time, we've known that this investigation into the former president has reached an advanced stage. We've known that for days because, of course, his attorneys were notified that they would have the opportunity to bring their client in if they chose to do so. They're not choosing to do so in this case, but we can now report multiple law enforcement agencies, both at the state, local, federal level, are having discussions about potential security precautions in the event that there was to be an indictment of the former president. Now, we are not saying that charges have been filed. We are not opining on what those charges might be. But the fact that the law enforcement officials at this high of a level are having such discussions shows you that this has reached a significant milestone in the case. And the timing here is important. It is our reporting based off of 5 senior officials that this could happen as soon as next week.
So I don't want to ask you about this specific case. I don't want to go into any sourcing, but in a case like this, where they know it's high profile, when they know it will be security concerns, is there generally an open line of communication between police, between other law enforcement agencies, and any DA, anybody who might be the prosecutor?
In the typical case, and we should mention this is not the typical case, but in the typical case, absolutely, there's an open line of communication. Of course, the DA's office relies on law enforcement every day in order to do its job, in order to execute search warrants. They have an open line of communication. Of course, in this case, it's different because we're talking about the former president of the United States. And again, I want to caution, we are not saying that he's been charged with anything, but of course, he has Secret Service protection. And so in the event that he was charged, it opens up a whole query of issues about how we might handle that. And so that is the reason that you see these preliminary discussions happening at this point.
Let's remind folks, because there are at least 4 major cases that are ongoing, what's involved here in the New York case.
The New York case, as we believe it to be, and again, we haven't seen anything, but we believe it to center on these hush money payments that were made before the 2016 election to Stormy Daniels that were made by Michael Cohen, Trump's former attorney, former fixer, made to Stormy Daniels. And the question is whether those payments were accounted for correctly. Were they false business records? And if they were, can the Manhattan District Attorney secure an indictment on those false business records? Now, in the typical case, something like that would be a misdemeanor. You're not facing jail time. If the district attorney can figure out a way to make that a felony, it's obviously a whole different ballgame. But again, we don't yet know what exactly the charges would be.
All right, let me go to Vaughn at Mar-a-Lago, obviously there covering Team Trump. And he has been, actually, to mention Stormy Daniels, he's been on Truth Social about her in recent days, if not in recent weeks and months. And we know that he closely follows everything that is said about him, particularly on cable news. What would we expect, or would we expect some sort of reaction from Trump himself or Team Trump to this news?
Right, Chris, what we have heard from the former president himself is come in the form of videos posted to his Truth social media account here over the course of the last several hours this morning, in which he has derided the multiple investigations into him, including the Manhattan District Attorney's investigation into these alleged hush money payments made to Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 campaign. Now, we have no indication yet from Trump's counsel or his campaign or him himself that they have been notified of an indictment. And that is where I think it is important that we understand the process here. Right now, we ourselves at NBC News and everybody else is trying to get a better understanding of exactly where the district attorney's process is at right now. We in Lower Manhattan have seen no activity at the grand jury room where these witnesses, including Michael Cohen, have gone before these 16 to 23 jurors since Wednesday afternoon. That's when Michael Cohen left meeting with the grand jury after about 5 hours of testimony over the 2 days. But we did not see any activity at that grand jury room yesterday, have not seen any today. What does that mean? It means that, number one, the grand juries could have potentially even voted on charges that we're talking about here against Donald Trump. But it may not have come out in the form of an official indictment. The foreperson may have not signed this as an official indictment here. And that is where we may be talking about days, it could be weeks, or again, there may be no charges here at all. At that point, once the grand jury were to sign the indictment, then the district attorney would inform Trump's counsel. And this may all come in the form of a sealed indictment here, meaning that it's private. It is not public. And that is where some of these conversations could be existing. We don't know about those conversations at this time. And that is where this is an ever rolling process here to better understand whether the grand jury has completed its investigation or whether it could potentially convene next week. And, you know, it could be hearing from even future witnesses. There's a lot of outstanding questions that, because the grand jury has secret proceedings, we don't have the answers to right now, Chris.
Rhianna, anything could happen, or is there a situation, Laura, where at least you can say with some certainty, typically, this is what would happen?
I think we can say typically the DA would not have gone this far only to pull back. But we should also say we're still in that phase where we haven't seen the charges filed. And so we should be careful about the speculation on that. I also want to point out that the district attorney's office, Secret Service, the NYPD, everyone has declined to comment. So I also want to mention, you know, this is based off of our reporting from our colleague at WNBC, Jonathan Dietz, who has 5 sources, and he is a seasoned reporter. But I want to make sure that we're on the record that those agencies have declined to comment.